years of drinking syrup, and then I ended up getting up to 510 pounds. I had poor eating habits. I didn't do nothing but left popping pills, drinking syrup. Before I knew it, my heart failed on me.
Okay.
And by the graces of God, I came back from a 1% chance to live. And She said my hand gripped her hand, and she told the doctor, hey, don't y'all touch that machine. He's still alive.
Welcome back to Live High Podcast. I am your host, Tammy Jones, and today I have a special guest with me. It's Mr. OG Jay Holland in the building. How you doing?
Man, salute, Queen. Salute, man. I'm blessed by the best, and I'm not going to worry about the rest.
That's what's up right there. So I always like to start off by asking, because the guests I always going to ask, who is Jay Holland and where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from South Dallas, but but the earth is my turf.
Okay.
I stayed a little bit everywhere, from the north to Highland Hill, graduated from Hutch, went to Thomas Jefferson.
Really?
Yeah, you name it, I've been all the way around the globe.
That's what's up. What's up. So what do you, so I was asking who you are because technically they want to know if you in the entertainment business.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing music with, I discovered Big Tuck. That was really the first artist that, really let him tell he discovered me.
Big Tuck?
Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy. Yeah, no, that was really my introduction to music, was dealing with him, Lopez and them. It was just a hobby.
Okay.
And I just kind of took it from there and then started dabbing in a little bit of everything from real estate.
Okay.
Selling cars, you name it.
Okay.
Then I do the motivational speaking now, a little bit of everything.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you about that too because I saw you on you got some award. What award was that? What you got? It was like, so you was on something. You was just presenting somewhere. What was it? You was at some event or something. A couple of weeks ago. Yes, do you need me to go to your Facebook page?
Okay. No.
Was it a church stuff? You was doing something.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That was a scholarship. We give away scholarships at One Rugged Cross at my church. Okay. So we was giving away a scholarship.
Okay, you was giving away a scholarship. Okay, so how was it growing up in the South?
You know what, man? You say our good times. We look at good time.
Yeah.
It was like that, but pretty much. But we was in South Dallas. We wasn't in Chicago.
Shoot, I think Chicago worse.
Yeah.
So tell me about family. How is it? Growing up out there with family. You got any siblings or anything?
Oh yeah. I got a gang of siblings. My youngest brother and youngest sister, both of them passed away.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah, but and mom just, she ain't too long ago just passed. But other than that, though, everything was cool. Like, what I can say about life back then is that people stuck together more.
That's
it's
right.
like the broker you are, the tighter you are sometimes. And the money kind of divides people,
That's right. You ain't told no lie there.
Yeah, man. It's like once the money kind of come to the picture, everybody go their separate ways.
Yeah. And that division, when death come, like when my grandmother passed, it's just like death. It's the division of everything. And I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? It starts battle between families and everything. Like, it's just.
But, a lot of times I'm going to tell you a couple of things to show you who a person really is. That's if a person drunk, they're going to show you who they really are. They're going to speak their mind. A person get real high, they're going to probably speak their mind. Person get real mad, they're going to speak their mind. Unless somebody who been mediating between you and other people die, and eventually people going to start speaking their mind.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So as far as the career-wise go or whatever, you say you work with Big Tuck and stuff like that. So what are you, do you do marketing or what is it that you do?
The question is what I don't do.
What you don't do.
It's like I done learned how to dabble in a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, do the marketing, promotion, mentoring, advise, branding.
Yeah, okay.
I done got to kind of put my foot in the game.
How you get into that? Like, what was the inspiration? What inspired you to do that?
You know what? My youngest brother who got killed, it was his dream. Because he was like, record labels was trying to sign him when he was like 15.
What?
But my mom wouldn't let him sign.
Okay.
So he could sing and
Why?
rap.
Because her age, his
Yeah,
age.
he was too young, and he was already getting to a bunch of stuff. So mom was like, nah, man, I ain't finna, you ain't ready.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that was it. Like I didn't never, I dabbed a little bit with music, but that wasn't my thing,
Okay. What, music in rapping or something like that?
I just put systems in cars,
oh, okay.
around basically. That was
well, that's the same thing.
Yeah, that was the best I did with music. But even my cousin that came up here with me, he was a lyricist. So I mean,
okay.
we all just kind of started dabbing a little bit more and took it from there.
Yeah.
But it was basically keeping his dream alive.
Okay, so that's what you was doing. That's what I was going to ask. So it had anything to do with your brother? So just keeping his dream alive or whatever. At 15 years old, it is kind of young, but
Yeah, but he had the talent.
He had it. So what age was it when he passed, you said? How old was he?
He was at 15.
He passed at 15?
Yeah, he ended up, not take that lie back, he had just turned 16.
Oh.
And he ended up getting killed by his best friend.
Okay. Yeah. So what's challenging about it? Because you do a lot. Like, you can't even put you at one source of nothing.
You know what, man? My mom used to always tell me, she say, hey, man, she say, be a true entrepreneur gonna be able to explore anything.
That's right.
And that's how I watched my mom. She started off when her job folded, and they was like, hey, she was making 20-something an hour, and then back then that was good money.
That was good money back then.
She was making about 23, 22 an hour, and the job quit. So they were like, hey, but you can go work for the competition for half the pay, or we're gonna give everybody a going away whatever salary thing or something. And Mama said, I'm not going to work for half of what I've been doing. I worked too hard to get where I was at.
Right.
So she went in a business for herself. And I can draw, so I drew a picture of a vacuum cleaner. Mm-hmm. And she went and got it a Xerox copy, put her phone number on there, and she wrote down there, Crystal's Cleaning Service. And she said, and I believe now my sister wrote it. My sister wrote it out. But Mama told us what she wanted on there. She put her number on there, and she said, the first cleaning on me, first cleaning is free. If you like me, hire me, and if you don't, so be it. And I watched her go from making probably like a couple of $100 a week to, man, since she was making some like 10,000.
Really?
Yeah, she made some good money.
Yeah. And my grandmother did that too. Well, she didn't do that. That was very clever what she did. Mm-hmm. My grandmother, she used to clean up for them rich white folks down there on Greenville.
Yeah, that's what mom ended up working her way around with the same ones.
Yeah. So that's crazy because my grandmother, she passed at 68 years old or whatever, and she did that right up until her pass. And that cancer is something else. I'm gonna tell you that. Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something that people need to be aware of.
That's right.
Try to do better, make better choices.
So besides your brother, because I know that, because to me, when you talk about your brother, it's influencing, right? So besides him, who else would you say influenced you as far as, to do your mom? I know that. So who else would you say?
Really outside of Monk, me and Mom, man, I'm going to tell you something me and Mom used to do. We used to go back and forth with the music. Like, say, for instance, how you pick a song, I pick a song. You pick a song, I pick a song. That was our little routine. So we used to go head up with the music. Like I might be like, Mom, you ever heard of Tupac? And she'd be like, nah. I said, I'm gonna listen to this. She said, you ever heard of Wilson Pickett? I'm like, nah. She said, well, we finna exchange. So we just go back and forth with the music, and that was our thing.
Right.
That was my major, like really opening my horizon with music. Mm-hmm. We listened to everything from country, Garth Brooks. I mean, you just named Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton. We listened to all kinds from Boy George and them, Madonna. Me and Mom, we left out no genre of music.
Your mom just passed recently, didn't she?
Yeah.
Because I remember you was telling me that. Like last year, wasn't it? Was it last year?
She passed away on my grandmama's birthday, August 31st.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The same dang on day. That's crazy to me. But so what is your biggest pet peeve? What's your biggest pet peeve?
Somebody breaking my trust. You break my trust, man, that's it, man. Ain't no amount of money you can give me on earth gonna ever make me trust you again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mess up that trust, that's a wrap.
And I'm going to ask you this because I wanted to ask you when I was looking at your profile and stuff, and I got a lot of people in Houston that they don't even know you, but when I said something about you one day, it's one lady down there. She was like, I've been following him for a long time or whatever. So she wanted me to ask you this one question from her. She said, if you was to write a book about yourself, what would it be about? She wanted me to ask that because she said it's kind of deep. And I was like, I never thought to ask nobody that.
Man, you know what? It's ironic. I'm in the process of trying to get everything set up to write some books. I was going to write one book, but guess what? I had so many chapters in my life, I'm going to have to write a book for each chapter. You know, like I'm going to write a book from when I was a child.
Okay.
You know, like all the bullying and different stuff I went through as a child. And then I'm going to have to write one about the football life when I was deep into the football in high school. I was a jock. And then, you know, a little bit of the college football. Mm-hmm. Then from there, I'm going to write about being incarcerated. Okay. How that changed everything. Then the transition to the streets. Then the transition to the work world.
You got a but
I'm going to break it down into chapters, you know. Then I got, you know, where I dab with the women, like, you know, I did that. So I got a chapter for that. Then a chapter for the straight street side. Then a chapter for where I'm at now. And because, I look at it, I'm not no fool. You know, I'm getting older. And, you know, I know I'm closer to the end of the book than the beginning. Okay. So I have to make these chapters count.
Yeah. That's deep. Yeah. She gonna love that answer. She was just like, asking me. I said, I got you.
Oh, really?
So I want to now, I normally ask this at the end, but I'm gonna ask now because we speaking about it already. So what type of advice would you give to the youth out here right now? And you're from South Dallas, so it's like, I'm from Oak Cliff, but it's just like, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? As far as these kids and the raising and stuff like that or whatever, what they listening to, they mind, it's just not there. So what advice can you give to them?
Well, one of the best advice I'm going to give them is go vegan because that beef going to kill you.
That's what I am. He said that beef going to kill you.
Yeah, that beef I heard beef and it's going to get you killed, man.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing, and God ain't going to bless no mess. So if you're dealing with negativity, if negative is renting space in your head,
right,
man, you know, God going to evict all that.
Man, that beef is just... It's too, and that's what somebody was saying that I guess it was somebody maybe from one of those stations or whatever. They started trying to make the kids put down the guns, and they had them out there boxing. But I'm like, wonder what that turned into. You know what I'm saying?
See, the ego is the main problem with the youngsters. Right. Your ego is not your best amigo. The youngsters need to realize that the ego is what. I've seen a guy get robbed for everything he had.
What?
He wasn't even tripping. Then some dude he knew took his girlfriend. His ego kicked in. He did something to both of them. But that just show you how that ego, because you know you're driven by the ego. The other thing happened, didn't nobody know. The other thing happened, everybody could see. Right. So he was so embarrassed he had to bust a move.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see you got a lot of respect on Instagram. Like, I was just trying to read through some of your comments. Like, how did it get there? Like, what did it take? Like, did something have to tragically happen, or have you been respected, or?
I think it kind of transferred over. You know, like one thing I know about where I'm from out there, it's like if you fake, they're gonna treat you like $9 corner store jewelry. You're gonna fade off. Ain't nobody gonna remember you.
Right.
But if you're real, they gonna respect you, you know, and I kept it $1. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I did everything 100%. I done some F stuff in my life too.
Right.
But I went back and something that I done that a lot of people probably didn't get a chance to do. I went back and made up for it.
Okay.
Like every girl that I burned for income tax money, different stuff like that. I was like, hey man, let me.
Did you seriously? You did?
Yeah. When I first got out the hospital, coming out that coma, I was like, let me go in. I made a post. I said, hey, anybody who I've wronged, you know, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So I went back trying to make things right, you know.
So I don't know how personal that is, because I remember me and you had a conversation. You did tell me that, but I didn't want to just ask you, like, what happened or what were the circumstances to that or whatever. Do you mind sharing what that was or whatever?
Yeah, from years of drinking syrup, and then I ended up getting up to 510 pounds. I had poor eating habits. I didn't do nothing but left popping pills, drinking syrup. Before I knew it, you know, my heart failed on me.
Okay.
And by the graces of God, I came back from a 1% chance to live. Yeah, so
1% chance, man.
1%.
That's like nothing.
Man, when I went seeing C. Shrugs in the hospital, the doctor said he had a 51% chance to live. He still passed. So that let me know, like, man, I'm very fortunate.
Right, you very fortunate, man.
Yeah.
That was God on your side, your mom, just a lot of things just hovering you that, you know what I'm saying, that got you out of that, because that's crazy. 1% chance of living.
1% chance. And my mom told me, she said, when I was in that coma, she said, not responding at all. She said, no, people was like pretty much like, man, you need to go and start making final arrangements because he's not going to make it. They said, he's probably not going to live through the night. And my mama, they said, well, we're going to start unhooking these machines. Mom said, wait a minute. Before y'all touch any one of the machines, let me pray to my God about my baby. Then I'm going to let y'all know from there. She said she prayed. And she said, God, if you're going to take my firstborn, and if it's in your will, I understand. Give me the power to understand it. She said, but if not, give me a sign, and I'm going to fight for him. And she said, I'm going to fight for him to the end. And she said, all of a sudden, my hand gripped her hand like that.
Are you serious? At that moment?
At that moment. And
wow.
She said, my hand gripped her hand. And she told the doctor, hey, don't y'all touch that machine. He's still alive. They were like, man, that's probably like something they do before they die.
Right.
Like last reflex. She said, no, he's still there. So she wouldn't let him touch the machine. She started singing something. I can't remember what song she said. She said she started singing a church song. And she said all of a sudden, bam. She said my level, thing started back jumping like that.
Didn't.
And she said, because it was like barely beating. She said, boom, started jumping. And then she said, I told you you weren't going. And all of a sudden I fought to wake up. When I opened up my eyes, all I could hear everybody saying was like, oh my God, it's a miracle. Woo, nurses.
Jay, you talking about when she prayed, that happened as she prayed.
As she prayed. And I was praying. It's crazy. I guess by me hearing her prayers in my ear, I was praying
with her
in the wherever I was at. I could tell my spirit was like somewhere else. And a lot of people, I didn't believe none of that. When you heard them stories, I didn't believe none of that. I said they was hallucinating off meds. They lying. I never believed none of that until now. I can be a witness that it's real. And at the time when I went, see how light these lights is right here?
Yes.
The light that woke me up was lighter than that. Then, bam, I was right back.
And how long were you in the coma?
Like right at 3 months.
No freaking way. And you was just in another world.
In a whole nother, I was living, wherever I was at, I was living a whole nother life just like I was here. I was still kicking it, doing everything that people doing here. I was bathing, getting up, brushing your teeth. Like
yes, that's that it's that manifest stuff, man.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. Like we talk about this all the time. It's like being in another whole nother dimension
that's
somewhere.
What it was. And you know how everybody always speak about Satan. They depict this red skin and the horns. And when I met him, I didn't meet God on the other side, but I met Satan. And he wasn't like, he was a pretty boy, looked like a supermodel, suit and tie, suited up, Bentleys, everything you could name. He had a big mansion full of every kind of woman that any man could ever dream or desire. He had them in the mansion. And when I met the dude, it's like, and it was crazy because I was a fat boy. So I'm sitting at the bus stop wherever I was at. I'm at a bus stop, and he pulled up in a black Bentley, and he was like, everything was smooth, like he was an R&B singer. Everything he said was like, hey, man, And I'm like, say, go on, man. He was like, man, I can help you, dog. Just say you need my help. What? But I'm not knowing at this time that was Satan. So as he tell me, like, hey, man, I can help you, man. Just say that you need my help, and I got you, man. Everything like with a smoothness to it.
Pimp.
Then I'm like, say, man, you better get on before I knock your teeth down your MF throat, man. You better get away from me, dog. So then he had some women come up, and they were eating hamburgers and drinking, and at the time, I was on a feeding tube.
Okay.
So I'm looking at this. I'm a fat boy, so I'm like, like, what's up? He's like, man, they gonna help you out, man. They with me, man. Well, next time I start eating on the burger, I'm like, all right, I'll take some help. So I eating the burger, they feed me the burgers, and next time I hopped in the car with him, and the rest was history, man. We was moving on.
Wow. And you can remember all of that.
I had forgot my own birthday. I had forgot Social Security number, my kid's birthday, but I remember this stuff detail for detail.
You're a walking miracle. There ain't no other way to put it.
Yeah, by the graces of God.
That's deep. I don't even know what to say no more. Like, I never heard of nothing like this just in the flesh. You know what I'm saying?
And everybody I told, and I'm going to even take it a little further with the story. Man, I was so out of there that when I came to and I was back functioning, I peeled all my skin off my body because that's how dead that I was. That I actually pulled all the way down to the fingertips, was peeling skin. You know, like how like snakes or whatever they skin, it's like I peeled all that layer of skin off my entire body because they say I was like out of there.
Wow.
They said then one of the nurses, me and her got real cool, and the nurse told me, she said that they had a toe tag already ready for my toe.
Are you serious?
They had it filled out.
Wow.
So they were just trying to figure out where they was going to put me in the locker.
That's crazy right there.
Yeah.
So you ain't doing none of that stuff no more.
Say,
Don't you ever look that way.
I'm square as a pool table, twice as green.
Don't ever look that way. You just keep going. You know what I'm saying, on what you striving for right now. Whatever.
I don't do nothing, man. I might light up a cigar just for a picture or two, and I put it out.
Don't want to do nothing. But I want you to look in the camera though, and just tell my listeners how to follow you on social media and everything.
Okay, y'all can follow me on Facebook under Jay Holland. Then it's going to be OG Big J on the side of it. You can follow me on Instagram under Real OG Jay Holland, JayHolland.
Is there anything that I didn't cover that you want to tell the world or whatever? Just if you had 1 minute of their time, what would you tell them?
Man, I would tell them that you're not going to get out of this life alive. So make it count, man. Live the best life you can live. Die clean. Make sure that before you die clean. Wash your hands to all the dirt you done ever did in this life. Wash your hands clean and start. God going to give you a reset, but no matter what nobody tell you, God is going to give you a reset. He's going to forgive you. That's at the end of the day, it's going to be you and God standing before each other. Not you and your homeboys, not you and your girls or your chicks or none of that. You're going to have accountability for whatever you've done in this life. So you make sure that you keep your hands clean, and when you get ready to check out, die clean, and you'll be able to have a smooth transition. Let me not say die, let me say transition. Because we don't really die, we just transition.
Wow. I want to thank you so much. I've been trying to get you for the last hiccup was me, but I want to thank you so much for coming in and taking this time out to be with me. It's for our podcast or whatever, and it's very much appreciated.
Man, I appreciate you, and y'all stay blessed by the best, and don't worry about the rest.
That's right. So thank you for everybody for tuning in, and we out.